How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to an episode here on Let's Pull Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan, or Unknown Coder, your favorite underqualified senior software engineer. There's a couple things I want to talk about before we get into this. Firstly, if you guys do want access to the private repository, go ahead and check out the description below. There is a video that'll walk you through exactly how to go ahead and get access to that. Secondly, sorry for the background. It's a mess. We've been cleaning and going through to affect the house, so this is kind of like the catch-all for things at the moment. So I'll try to get that cleaned up for the next episode, but just bear with me here. With that being said, let's go and hop into what we're working on today. Today, as long as I don't accidentally go too long, which is absolutely possible, we're going to go ahead and try to get all of the notifications for the post done. So what we're going to go ahead and do is first I'm going to hop into our backend and set up some test data. That way we can go ahead and look and watch as we're going and developing all this. And then we'll hop into the front end and go ahead and develop all the stuff we need to get all of the post stuff done, and then get all of that inside of our all notifications. So with that being said, let's go and hop into our code and get to work here. So as I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and start out in the backend. What I'm thinking here is we're going to go ahead and get rid of the comments here. And we're also going to go ahead and insert a new post. So let's go ahead and get rid of these comments. And then I'm also going to go ahead and get rid of this comment as well. We do not need this one though. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just insert this data really quick, and I'll be right back and I'll walk you through what's going on. All right, let's go and take a look at our test data. So what we went and did is we inserted a post created by me. That's going to be test post for notifications. Realistically, this probably shouldn't be posted quote unquote now, but it is what it is. It doesn't really matter for our testing purposes. And then I went ahead and just modified the I'm bird person post we already had. And this one is set up to be a reply to my post. So that's why this one has one here instead of null. And then of course we have our notifications, which we're actually testing. So the reason behind this is I kind of got a better idea of how Twitter is working here. So it seems like Twitter kind of combines the notifications like after a month maybe, and then it kind of keeps them separated until they're like a month old more or less. So if they are done on the same day, they'll be put into the same group, and then if they're done within the same month, they'll be put into a group, and then if they are done after like a year or something, they kind of go away. Again, that might not be the exact logic Twitter uses, but that's kind of what my final logic is going to be. So we have a couple of notifications. I don't remember, these ones might be likes, and then these ones might be reposts. I don't remember which notification type is which, but we have a couple likes, couple reposts, and then we have some follows, and then we also have this one is a reply, I believe. That way we can see that, because I also found out the replies go in all notifications and they also go inside of the mentions. So we need to make sure to test that as well. We do have logic put in to deal with that. So this is our test data. You can go ahead and pause if you like. This is just going to be here to help us as we develop. So let's go and hop into the front end and get to work here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go into our features in the front end, go into our notification components. We need a component to actually create a notification for our post actions. So let's go ahead and say A in here, and let's go ahead and make a post action notifications component, and we'll say post action notifications.tsx. And then let's also go in here and make a post action notification.css. And I believe this should be post action notification. So let's go ahead and fix these as well. So let's go ahead and rename to TSX to make sure this is just without an S, because it's going to be a singular notification. So let's go and hop in here. Let's go and import React from React. And then let's go ahead and create an interface for the prop. So say interface post action notification props. And inside we'll have an icon, which is a JSX element. We have text of string. We'll have some notifications, which is an iNotification array. Now let's go ahead and import our iNotification. So it imports notifications as iNotifications. And this is going to come from our global interfaces. And it's still mad at us because we're not returning anything. So let's go and export const post action notification, which is a React FC that takes in our props. Equal to an arrow function that breaks apart our props. And let's go and just return a fragment for now. Now it should be unmad at us. Now let's see what's going on with our notification props. Post action notification props interface. Did I spell something wrong? I must have typoed something. Now it's happy. Cool. So this is going to be pretty simple. We're going to have some curly braces here, and we're going to make sure that we have a post on notification. So it's a notification0.post. And if we have a post, we'll go ahead and have a notification component. And we'll have icon equal to icon. And notifications equal to notifications. And inside, we'll go ahead and set up our actual notification specifically for our post actions. So if we want to, we can just go ahead and say a fragment or something, post action content. We're going to go ahead and pass the icon into here because different notifications have different icons even for post action. So we still need that kind of fine-grained control here. But now we need to go ahead and actually create components that go inside this. So to do that, we're going to make a couple new components. Let's open up our Explorer. Let's go into our components for notification. Let's go ahead and create a notification users text folder. And then let's make notification users text.tsx. And then let's go ahead and make a notification users text.css. So now inside here, let's just go ahead and import React from React. And let's go ahead and export const notification users text, which is a React FC, which will take in a notification in a string. And this will be an arrow function, which breaks apart our props. So let's go ahead and import notification as iNotification. And this will come from our global interfaces once again. Let's go ahead and just return a div really quickly with a class name of notification users text. That way it is not mad at us anymore. So now this is basically just going to have a switch case inside of it that generates the text that goes inside the notification. And this is going to be like which users did the notification. So let's go ahead and say function generate text, which creates a JSX element. And then we're going to go ahead and create a switch case, which switches on the notification.length. We'll have a case for one. In this case, we'll return a new fragment. And inside the fragment, we'll have a post username, where here the author is notification0.actionuser. And repost equal to false. And then outside of our post username, we'll go ahead and have curly braces and pass in the text. So now for case 2, once again, we'll return a fragment. Inside this fragment, once again, we will have a post username. The author will be notification0.actionuser. And then we will have and outside of that, and we'll have another post username where the author is notifications1.actionuser. Once again, we'll have repost false, and then the text. And then let's see what I did here. That was incorrect. I forgot to close this off. There we go. And finally, our default case. Once again, we'll return a fragment. Inside the fragment, I will post username. Author equal notification0.actionuser. Repost equal to false. We'll have and outside of that again, we'll have curly braces, backticks, and then $ curly brace. And here we'll say notifications.length -1. And then outside of that curly brace, others, and then we'll have our text. Let's make sure we spell length right. There we go. So what's going on here? And let's also make sure that I didn't break this. What's going on with this post username here? Oh, I forgot repost false in here. So let's go ahead and add repost equal to false. And I messed this up. So what's going on here is if there's one user, we'll just say, hey, this user did whatever. Here we'll have this user and this user did whatever. And then if there's more than two, it'll be this user and however many others did whatever. So now all we need to do is come down here and let's go ahead and call generate text. And then we can go ahead and generate text and then also be able to hover over that username. So we do have a little bit of CSS for this. So let's go ahead and hop into the CSS here. Here, we're just going to head and hit say dot notification users text. And we'll have a margin 0. We'll have a margin top 8px. We'll have a margin left 48px. We'll have a padding 0. Font size 15. Font weight 600. display flex, justify content, flex start, align item center, and finally a gap before px. I did have another class here, but I don't think we need it. So if we need to come back, I'll come back and fix that. Now we need to go ahead and go into our follow notification CSS and remove the CSS that kind of corresponds to this. So let's go into our follow notification.css and we can go ahead and get rid of this as well. We do not need this anymore. So now let's go back into follow notification and update that user text. So now instead of having this notification text with the span, what we'll go ahead and do is we'll delete this. We'll go ahead and say notification users text instead. Here, notifications, we'll go notifications. And our text will equal to followed you with the space before it. Now we also do not need this first user anymore, so let's go and get rid of that. So now following should still work. And theoretically, if we went into our front end, hopefully this should be working because I think we have some follow notifications. So if we refresh, let's see. Okay, for some reason our follow notifications aren't showing up. I'll look into it later because I don't want to derail the episode too much. So let's go back into our post action notifications. And now instead of this post action content, let's go and get rid of this. This is just a placeholder for now. Let's go and add in a notification users text. Here are the notifications. We go on notifications and our text will equal to text. So now that is good to go. So next what we need to do is we need to add the post content on the bottom here. But before we do that, we need to make a small change to the actual post content itself. So let's go into our emoji utils file really quick. And down here, we have basically a function that maps the content into different elements. So let's go scroll down here. So here we convert post contents to elements. And the issue is that we're using these different classes, but we want to be able to use a specific class of our own. So we're going to go ahead and kind of make like a wrapper function here to convert all of the classes. Let's go and say export const convert post content to elements for notification. And this is going to take in an array of JSX elements. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and map the different elements. So we're going to say return elements.map. We're going to map through each element. And inside, we're going to say element is equal to curly braces. We're going to go ahead and say .element. We're going to say props is equal to curly braces. Inside, we're going to say .element.props. And here we're going to change the class name. So I'm going to say class name is post notification content text. And then finally, we just want to go ahead and return the element out of here. So what this is going to allow us to do is going to allow us to change the class name to all of these elements that this function creates into post notification content text. That way we can go ahead and style it exactly how we want. Now this is significant for the next part. So let's go ahead and space E. And we're going to go up to our notifications again. Let's go into our components, hit A to go ahead and create a new component. And let's create a directory called notification post content. And we'll go ahead and make a component called notification post content.tsx. Let's go ahead and also make a notification post content.css. And let's go ahead and go into the component. So as always, let's import React from React. And let's go and export const notification post content. This will be a React FC, which takes in a post as a prop. And then this will equal to an arrow function that breaks apart those props. Let's go ahead and return a div with the class name notification post content to make it happy. So now what we need to go and do is let's go ahead and create another div with the class name notification post content overflow container. The purpose of this container is so that whenever there's a really long post, it'll kind of cut it off to like 4 or 5 lines because that's kind of how the notifications work. Then have our curly braces, and let's go ahead and call our convert post content to elements for notifications. And inside this function call, we're going to go ahead and call convert post content to elements. And inside that function, we'll go ahead and pass post.content. We'll also go ahead and pass in post. So that'll go ahead and put in our post content inside this div and kind of truncate it. That way it's not too large. Then we have curly braces, and we're going to say post.images.length is greater than 0. If that's the case, we'll have a span with a class name of notification post content pick. And inside we'll have curly braces, and this one is just kind of making up what Twitter does. We'll have backticks pick.twitter.com. slash and then $post.postID, and then this will close off the span. So I'm thinking what I'll eventually do is maybe add an on click to this, so I'll just take us to the post. It is what it is. That's good to go. Let's go into the CSS and set up that really quick. This CSS is pretty simple. I have .notification post content. Here we'll have width 100%. We'll have height fit content. Padding left 48px. And finally font weight 400. Next, we'll have a notification post content overflow container. Here we'll have line height of 25px. We'll have max height of 135. We'll have height fit content. Width 100%. Overflow hidden. And text overflow ellipsis. So if it overflows in any directions, we'll have ... on the text, and we won't have too much text inside of a notification. Finally, we'll have .post notification content text. This is a class that we set up inside of our util. Here, font size will be 15. Color will be £657786. And our font weight will be 400. And the reason we had to kind of wrap that and convert that is because the text size is quite a bit smaller than the normal post. Now let's go and add this into our post action notification. So now under our notification users text, let's go and add in notification post content. Here our post will be notification0.post. There we go. So now we have the content for our post action notification. Now we need to do the big piece of work in this episode, which is setting up the logic for the actual grouping of the notifications. Maybe this part should have been its own episode, but it is what it is. We'll see if I have to break it down. But with that being said, let's go into our notifications all components. And basically we're going to be rewriting all of this so we can keep sorted, we can keep the notification map, and we can keep the notification components. But from here down, we're basically going to go ahead and do all new. So let's go and just get rid of that for now, and let's get started. So first off, we're going to say let key equal to an empty string, and then we'll go ahead and say sorted.forEach again, and then for each notification. Now we need to go ahead and say const today's date is equal to a new date. Then we'll say const notification date is equal to a new date of notification.notification timestamp. We need const date string will be equal to backticks and then $ curly brace notification date dot get month +1. We'll need a dash $ curly brace. We'll have notification date dot get date. We'll have a dash notification date dot get full year. Finally, we'll go ahead and say key equal to an empty string again, just to reset it. I didn't need to do the one above, but it is what it is. So now we're going to check to see if notification is acknowledged. If it is, we're going to go ahead and say if notification.notification type is equal to reply. And notification.post and notification.reply. If it's a reply, it should have all of these, but we're going to go ahead and play it safe. Here, we'll say key is equal to backticks, and we'll say unread, and then $ curly brace, notification.notification type dot to lowercase. And then notification for post, and then $ curly brace, notification.post.postID, and then $ curly brace, and we'll have notification.notification type again. I'm going to add .to lowercase on here because it could be a mention or reply, and I'm going to kind of add some of that logic later, and I totally messed this up, so let me fix this. And finally, we have $ curly brace notification.reply.postID. So basically it's going to say, hey, you were mentioned or replied inside this post. So there's that one. We have a couple more now. So now we need to check to see. We need to make some logic here. So else if less than month, we'll go ahead and set that up in a second. So it's going to be mad at us, but that's fine. Key will equal to backticks. And then this will be unread and $ curly brace and notification.notification type dot to lowercase. And then we'll have notifications for, and then $ curly brace, date string. We'll say $ curly brace, notification.post, question mark, because it could be a follow, and we'll say and post, $ curly brace, notification.post.postid. Otherwise, it'll be an empty string. And hopefully I didn't scuff that. It looks like it did. I need to add another ampersand here. So if there's a post, we'll go ahead and say, hey, it's for this post. Otherwise, it's not for any post. And then finally, I believe we should just have an else here. And then we have one more else if. This one will be less than a year. Again, we'll set up the function for this in a second. Here, we'll say key is equal to unread. $ curly brace, notification.notification type.to lowercase. We'll have notifications and then $ curly brace, and this will be notification.post question mark again. So if it's a post action, we'll say backticks, and then for post, $ curly brace, and this will say notification.post.postid. Otherwise, it'll be an empty string again. So this is mad because of these, but that's fine. We'll fix that in a second. So now outside of these if else's, we'll say if key is not equal to an empty string and not notification map.has key. We'll go ahead and say notification map.set. We'll pass in the key and pass in the notification in array. Else if our key is not equal to an empty string and notification map.has our key, and I messed up. This should be red notifications. Let me go ahead and fix this. So this will be let red notifications equal to notifications map.get key. And we'll say red notifications exclamation mark dot push notifications. And finally say notification map.set key and red notifications. And let me see what's going on here. So this should be push notification and notification. This is probably mad because of still up here. If not, I'll figure it out. Now let's set up our else. So outside here, we'll say else. Here we'll say if notification.notification type is equal to reply. And notification.post and notification.reply. If that's the case, key will equal to unread, and then $ curly brace, notification.notification type.to lowercase. Then we have notification for post, and then $ curly brace, notification post.postid. And then we'll have $ curly brace again, and this will be notification.notification type .to lowercase. And then $ curly brace, notification.reply.postid. Then we'll have else. Here key will equal to unread. $ curly brace, notification.notification type.to lowercase. And this will be notifications for $ curly brace, date string, and $ curly brace, notification.post. Question mark. If that's the case, we'll have backticks again. For post, $ curly brace, notification.post.postid. Otherwise, nothing. Okay, so there's that. Now outside that if else, we'll say if not notification map.has key. If it doesn't have the key, we'll say notification map.set key an empty array. Then we'll say const unread notifications is equal to notification map.get key. We'll go ahead and say unread notifications exclamation mark dot push notification. We'll go ahead and say notification map.set key and unread notifications. So we're almost to to the tail end of this. So we're done mapping through our different notifications. Now I need to go ahead and just basically map these into elements. So we'll say let unread notification list be an array of iNotification arrays. We'll say let read notification list equal to an array of iNotification arrays. I would say notification map dot for each notification list. We'll say if notification list 0 dot acknowledged. We'll go ahead and say read notification list dot push notification list. Otherwise, we'll say unread notification list dot push notification list. This is important because we want to make sure that we have the unread first and then the read after it. So that's why I'm doing it like this. And I typoed something, make sure we put an S on both of those. And this is still mad at us because we need to finish up that last thing. And now finally, we need to go ahead and say unread notification list dot for each. And then here for each notification list, we'll go ahead and say a notification components dot push. And then we need to say notification list to element. And we're going to go ahead and create this function in a second. Notification list. And then we need to go ahead and say read notification list dot for each. And once again, for each notification list, we'll go ahead and say notification components dot push. And then notification list to elements, and pass in our notification list. Now we have a lot of issues here, and let's go ahead and just set up this function really quick. So go ahead and say function const notification list to elements is equal to an arrow function, which takes in a notification list. And returns a JSX element. And then for now, let's just go ahead and return a fragment. So that should fix this, hopefully. Now, notification list and stuff is still broken. That's because let's hop into our date utility and set up the functions we need. So let's go to the bottom of date utils, and this should hopefully clear up everything. Otherwise, I'll debug really quick. So let's go ahead and export function less than month. This is going to take in a D1 date and a D2 date. And return a Boolean. Here we'll go ahead and say let time difference equals a d1.getTime minus d2.getTime. Then we're going to say let day difference equal to math.round. It's going to be time difference divided by 1000 times 3600 times 24. So that should get the amount of days. So we're going to return day difference less than equal to 30. So just going to use like around 30 for a month. We're going to say export function less than year. This is also going to go ahead and take in a D1 date and D2 date and return a Boolean. Basically the same thing. So let's go ahead and copy time difference and day difference and paste it down here. Or we probably could have done like a day difference function and then use that in here, but it is what it is. We're going to go ahead and return day difference less than 365. And that will determine whether it's less than a year or not. So now hopefully things should start coming together. Let's go back into our all notifications. And now up here where we have less than a month, let's go ahead and delete this. And we're going to go ahead and say less than a month. We're going to pass in today's date and notification date. And that should fix that up. And then here we're going to go ahead and say less than a year. We're going to go pass in today's date and notification date. Okay, so that fixed that up. So now let's see what's wrong with the key here. Looks like we are missing maybe a couple of backticks or something. There we go. I was missing backticks somewhere on one of these. So I fixed that up. And I'm guessing we have a similar issue over here. Let's see. So we have our backticks. So backtick here. So this needs to be brought in a little bit. So let's go ahead and delete this, colon, and then this should be empty string like that, I believe. Okay, so that fixed up that issue. So now let's see what's going on here. I think I mistyped notification. And then unread notifications, I'm guessing I mistyped something here as well. Let's just see. I think actually we need an exclamation mark at the end of this one because it does exist. And then let's see what's going on here. We might have an extra curly brace on this. Okay, we had an extra curly brace. And now we just have one issue. I'm assuming is a typo issue. Typo here. And there we go. So now what we need to go ahead and do is map these, and then we should be able to start seeing some stuff on the screen. Then I might wrap up the episode here. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and restart our backend application because that's why we couldn't see the notifications popping up. So we're running pretty long here. So let's go ahead and wrap this up by working on this. We'll do some of the other stuff in the next episode. So inside of our notification list element, we're going to go ahead and set up a switch case. And we're going to go ahead and switch on notification list 0 dot notification type. So we'll have a case for follow. Here we'll return a follow notification. Key will equal to notification list 0 dot notification ID. Our notifications will equal a notification list. Next, we have a case for like. Here we return a post action notification. Our key will be notification list 0 dot notification ID. Our notifications will be notification list. Our text will be liked your post. And our icon will just be a fragment for now. We have a case for repost. Here we'll return a post action notification again. Key will be equal to notification list 0 dot notification ID. Notifications equal notification list. Text will equal to reposted your post. Once again, icon will be an empty fragment. And then we'll have a case for reply. Here I'll have const feed post equal to a feed post. Post will be notification list 0 dot reply bing. We'll have reply to notification list 0 dot post. Repost is false. And repost user is going to be notification list 0 dot action user. I noticed an error appear. This should be notifications with an S. But now outside of our feed post, we can go ahead and return a notification. Icon equal to an empty fragment. Notifications is notification list. And inside the notification, we have a post with a key equal to notification list 0 dot notification ID. Feed post is equal to feed post. The notification equal to true. So we're going to have to set something up in the next episode to make this look like correct. Let's go ahead and bring these in. I don't know why notification won't come in. Let's just bring it up here, I guess. Imports. Notification. There we go. See if it's still mad at us. Okay, and now finally we need a default case. So default will just return an empty fragment. So I don't expect this to be working perfectly at the end of this episode, just because we ran out of time here to get everything done. But we should be able to more or less hopefully view the notifications and see some of the different notifications. So let's go ahead and see. Hopefully I don't have to debug too much. Let's refresh. Okay, I'm not sure where our notifications are because I did refresh our application and the backend does have our notifications. Let's just make sure this got saved. Let's restart our application again. The notifications should at least be showing up. So let's see what's going on here. Do we have a error in the console? We do, but that's fine. Oh, there they are. Okay, so now you can see we have a little bit of stuff to work on here. So it's looking like we're missing a little bit of CSS, but you can see we have a couple red ones. And I don't think they should be red. Let me double check. I think we might have a little bit of a logical error that I'll look into, but you can see we have our followed, we have our reposted, and they're kind of grouped together. So these two happened on the same day. This one happened on the same day. Then this one all happened like within the same month, I believe. And I'm not sure what's going on with these. So these ones should be red, so that should be acknowledged. So that looks like it's working properly. So these two are red, so yeah, it's working properly. So these two are red, these two are unread. I don't remember if the logic for clicking on them works. Let's see. So it did work. It looks like it didn't quite combine properly, or our logic isn't quite completed. Actually no, it did go in here. So everything's working. We need to add the icons and we need to go ahead and add some CSS to some of this, because as you can see, the CSS isn't perfect, but we unfortunately ran out of time for today. Next episode we'll get this all wrapped up. I have a really bad habit of making these way too long, but next episode I'm thinking we'll get this wrapped up and we'll get the verified page completed as well, because there's nothing really to put there, and also fix this notifications so that they go away. But as always guys, I hope you did enjoy. Sorry for not quite getting completely done, but it is what it is. We gotta kind of go based on time constraints. But if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Everything helps out here on the YouTube algorithm. And if you do want to go and see where we started from absolute scratch to get to now, I do have a playlist in the description down below that does exactly that. But unfortunately, that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode. And as always, I'm Ethan or Unknown Coder. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next video.